How is it the week of Halloween? How is everyone? Welcome back to the podcast. I'm glad to be with you guys today. It is basically November, holidays, Christmas, all the things. Where did 2025 go? It is wild to look back at this year and think, how did we get here? So today's episode is all about planning. This is going to be a working episode. It's going to be a little bit different. I'm just going to tell you because we're getting our hands dirty. We're pulling up our calendars and we're locking in every single event for 2026. Every single thing that we've done inside Salon Lace, I'm giving to you guys so you don't forget to mark your calendars, mark your dates for all of these events, one-on-ones, celebrations, because if it's not on the calendar, it's not happening. All right. And I want you to think about this. Come January or February, when and if you start scheduling one-on-ones with your team, you're already too late. I'm just going to say that. If you're thinking like, whoa, January came and went, it's already mid-February, and you have not scheduled a single one-on-one, you're already behind. Those first few months fly by. And before we know it, it's June. It's summertime. We're already into the 4th of July. The key to a thriving year isn't working harder. It's planning smarter and planning right now. So today's episode is your 2026 planning session, how to get every date, goal, and event on your calendar right now. So you might come back. Let me just say this too before we jump in. If you are in the car right now, if you are walking your dog at the gym, you really need to be at your desk in front of your computer, software, calendar, all the things to really get the most out of this episode. It's a working episode. So you're going to want to pause, plan out the dates. Pause, plan out the dates. All right. So I'm just going to say that is that I would love for you guys to go back and maybe listen to this all the way through and then go back and re-listen as you plan everything out, because I'm giving you guys a lot of things to plan. And you might not think about this. There's a lot going on in a year. A year comes and goes really fast, but we can pack a lot inside of one calendar year. So let's talk about why planning matters and why right now. Okay. You can't coach effectively when you're behind schedule and living in reactive mode. So many salon owners live in reactive mode and we plan things way too fast. And we don't get the most out of these events and one-on-ones and let's just say photo shoots and all the things because you lack in the planning process. You wait too long. So right now is the time to get it all on the calendar and make sure that we're setting ourselves up for a very, very successful 2026. Every single fall, I plan out my next year. Actually, summer. I'm going to be honest, inside of LG Education, it's summer. We plan it 6 months ahead of time for the following calendar year. So June, July, we're planning everything out for LG Education for the next year. Inside of Salon Lace, we do it in the fall. We've already done this. So this is your time right now as we are approaching November, December. We only have 2 months left of the year to go ahead and plan every single event and date out. Okay. And you're kind of just, I will say, you're planning a rough draft. You're going to plan more topics, like more details as you get closer to the events and the dates. But right now, we got to get them on the calendar. Okay. So leadership doesn't happen by accident. It's intentional. So plan, plan, plan. And this isn't just about filling in dates. It's about designing your year in advance so your team feels grounded, they feel guided, they feel supported, and most importantly, they feel organized and they know that you have your shit together because you do. And we're starting today. So no more saying as a stylist or one of your assistants, I didn't know this, because I'm going to call bullshit on that. Yes, you did. It's been on the calendar a year ahead of time. So I love that when we're planning everything and you've got everything out and you communicate that with your team, you cannot have a team member come to you and be like, oh, I forgot, or I didn't know about that one-on-one or that class. Really, it's been on the calendar for 9 months now. So you did know about it. So this takes all of that away. They cannot say that anymore. When you know what's coming, your energy shifts. You show up calmer, clearer, and more confident. So get your pen and paper and calendars out right now and let's get to work. All right, first thing we need to do is we need to know where to plan. So, how to organize your planning system. A lot of you guys already have a planning system. You might use Google Calendar, you might use your salon software calendar, or for my visual people, maybe you have a paper planner or a wall calendar. I really don't care as long as it's on a calendar. So, my go to of what we use inside of both of my businesses is Google Calendar. It is right on my phone. It's an app, it's at the very bottom. I click it every single day to see what events are coming up, not only in the next day or two, but like in the next week, in the next month, in the next couple months. I can see every event that is going on. And that's where I block out kids' doctor's appointments or one on ones inside Salon Lace, any team events that we have coming up, assistant classes. Literally everything gets put into Google Calendar, not my tasks and to-dos. That's a whole different ballgame. But my events, when I say events, I'm talking about anything that you have to be somewhere for an hour, 30 minutes, 3 hours. Like it's a time block, it's an event. All right. So Google Calendar, use your salon software. If you use Vagaro, um, Mevo, Forest, Mango Mint, Envision, Square, I don't care what it is. You could also use where you actually book appointments if you wanted to. If you want to keep them separate, because this is going to be a lot, you can keep them separate if you would like. So, where do you communicate with your team? Now, there could be a lot of different ways. And some of you guys might now, the only way that you communicate with your team is text. And I will say that will work right now. But as your team grows, that will no longer work. And your team is going to grow. So I'm going to give you a couple of recommendations. You need a team communications platform. When I say a team communications platform, I'm talking about how do you communicate? Where do you get out information, updates, reminders to your team? Where we post videos, post educational things. Like you have to have a platform. And so I'm going to give you some recs. Once your calendar is set, the next step is communicating this to your team. So your team cannot attend what they don't know about. So I would say once you wrap up all the dates, you've finalized it, you've sat on it for a couple days, just a couple days, and you feel good about it. You know that it doesn't interfere with any birthdays or holidays or anything that it could interfere with. Maybe have a second set of eyes look at it and say, hey, how's everything look? Do you see anything that's like a red flag? Nope. Okay, good to go. Then communicate that with your team. We use Facebook. And that might seem a little crazy or old school to some of you guys, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it ain't broke. It still works really, really well. For someone to come up in my business and say, I don't have Facebook. I've had that happen with one new hire out of hundreds. One. If they're not on Facebook that much, that's okay. At least they have one. They can get in, get on the app, check what they need to. If they want to create a Facebook, they can. It's going to be far and few between that someone you say, well, we can't use Facebook because this one person didn't have it. You are not making exceptions for the one. I'm going to say that again. You are not making exceptions for the one person that doesn't have Facebook. I love it. It works great because you can create events inside. It sends out reminders. They can comment, post. It's super easy. And they're already on social anyway. I don't love having to go to a separate app to pull this up, but it does work too if you want a certain app just for work communication. If we didn't use Facebook, my go-to would be Slack. So look up Slack. You could use GroupMe, WhatsApp, Band App, or even Voxer. Okay, so these are just a couple to look into. How to roll it out. Create an event inside your platform, like a Facebook group, or Slack, a channel, or whatever it is for these events. Okay. You're going to invite all team members. There should be an invite all button to where everyone can be in that group, channel, event, so they can RSVP. We do require RSVPs. And whether they're attending or not attending the event. And first thing I know is like, Lacey, what if someone doesn't RSVP? You send reminders, you send a text, you send reminders, we're going to constantly be reminding our team. It's part of it. Okay. Not everyone's going to be on board and RSVPing within 2 seconds of creating the event. It's not going to happen. But the more you push it and say, hey, don't forget, they will jump on board or they won't. Okay. Post reminders 1 week and 1 day before each event. I always do this. It will remind them automatically, at least Facebook does. I don't know about the other apps, but Facebook will actually be like, hey, there's an event tomorrow. There's an event in 1 hour. So I love that it does that. But if not, I go through and actually tag at everyone, and it'll tag everyone and it'll come up in their notifications, and make sure that you give them a heads up at least a week ahead of time, but also the day before. This is something nice to do. I would absolutely do that if you want everyone to attend your event, whatever it is upcoming in the salon. This builds accountability, clarity, and buy-in. Everyone knows what's coming. There's no surprises and there's no excuses, which is the best thing. All right, let's get into what to schedule. Stay with me because there's quite a few things. So we're going to go through this pretty quick. First thing is one-on-ones. That is the number one thing that I would be scheduling right now. I would schedule them every 4 to 6 weeks. This is my recommendation. Do not go past 4 weeks. Could you do 8 and do every other month? Yes, but a lot of life happens in 8 weeks. I like every 4 to 6. You are in the rotation of when guests get their hair done. You can see trends and cycles, get them re-inspired and remotivated. I like 4 to 6 weeks. It seems to be our sweet spot. Anything above 4 weeks, I think, is too soon, and anything after 6 to me is too long. Okay. You will need to block off 1 to 2 days, depending on the size of your team. If you only have one assistant or 1 or 2 team members, you could do it in a half of a day. If you have a rather large team, doing more than 6 to 8 one-on-ones in a day will drain you. How do I know? Because I've done it time and time again. I've had 2 full days of one-on-ones back to back to back to back. It's hard on you as the owner. It's emotionally draining. If you need a third day, book a third day, but I think you could do it in 2 half days or 2 full days. It all depends on the size of your team. I would book your one-on-ones every 45 minutes to an hour. I like the hour because it gives you that time. If you book them on the 45, that gives you 15 minutes to kind of collect your thoughts, take notes, send them their action plan, use the restroom, refill your coffee, whatever you need to do. So you're not rushed. You don't want your people waiting on you. And I feel it's disrespectful to them. It's disrespectful to their time if they have to wait on you on a one-on-one that's been scheduled a year ahead of time. So pay attention to the clock. There's cases where someone is having a bad day, they're going through a really hard time, and the conversation might go a little bit longer. That's okay. Do not make a habit out of it. Respect your team's time and set a timer. Okay. I have done this inside of Salon Lace where I've set a timer, and they can see it too, or like an hourglass timer or a digital timer. And it is not to rush them by any means. It's just if you have 10 one-on-ones, you cannot run behind. Okay. Use a sign-up sheet or link so stylists pick their time. So I prefer to go through and write the time spots that you are allowing. So on the date that you block off for one-on-ones, let's say you start at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. You have a 9, a 9:45, or a 10. If you do a 9:45, then maybe the next one is at 10:30, the next one is at 11:15, and the last one is at 12 o'clock that day. So that would be like on the 45. If you're scheduling them on the hour, you book a 9, a 10, 11, a 12, and so forth, and you let them know we have 45 minutes. So you give yourself that 15-minute sweet spot right there. Those are sign-up times. You post it in the page, in the group, let them sign up for the time. So if they're like, actually, I don't have childcare till the afternoon. Can I get the 12 o'clock? Great. Or, hey, I'd rather get it first thing in the morning. I'm going to sign up for the 10:15. Let them choose the time. Give your people options. Give them, the more options, the better. Now, you don't want to just be like, let me know what time and give them all day, but maybe you give them 5, 6 times to choose from. Okay. I love this, and it has worked great inside of our business for years now. We've followed the system. Prep them with the coaching prep form. Make sure they fill this out before they come in. It prepares you and it prepares them for what you're going to discuss during this important time. It's all about growth. This is not a time to point and blame what's not happening inside the business, who you're pissed off at, what person next to you, I say co-stylist or colleague, is bothering you at the time. It is about, do not waste it on that. And I tell my team that this is about your growth behind the chair and inside your career. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about the numbers. Sometimes they do need mentoring, and that's where you're giving them a hug and you're listening, and maybe they are going through a hard time right now. But the coaching prep form prepares both of you guys, and then also follow up with an action plan. Okay. Now do you guys want my templates? Because I have them for you guys. Okay. We're going to link inside the show notes right now our one-on-one framework, and you can go grab our coaching prep form and our action plan. So you're sending them an action plan afterwards, and then you're going to talk about it in 6 weeks or in 4 weeks when you schedule the next one-on-one. And when they show up, hey, did you accomplish A, B, and C, 1, 2, and 3? Now, you're not telling them what to do. You're asking them, hey, what are the 3 things that you want to work on between now and your next one-on-one? They are telling you the things, but they're going to know. They're going to see the weak spots in their business. And you can prompt if they're like, I don't know. Can you give me some feedback? Sure, of course. Let's talk about it. Okay. Inside the show notes, we are linking our one-on-one framework so you guys can see exactly how I structure our one-on-ones inside Facebook, and you can get the links to our coaching prep form and action plan. Salon photo shoots, number 2. I would love for you to be scheduling some salon photo shoots. They are so fun, but you need this for marketing and advertising inside your business. I would do them quarterly or twice a year. Quarterly is a lot. It's a lot. It's amazing. And we did it for many years and we kind of burnt out a little bit on it. It was a lot. So we went back to twice a year. So maybe you do fall and spring, or maybe you do winter and summertime. Get the date on the book and then find the photographer that can do it on that date or around that week. This is the week that we want to do it. Okay. Plan the dates now, plan the themes later. If you're like, Lacey, what are you talking about themes? I'm actually going to link in the show notes a couple of our Pinterest boards and themes that we have had inside of past Salon Lace photo shoots. It is a whole planning session to make sure everyone shows up in the same vibe, the same color schemes. If you're doing one with like wigs or glitter dresses or Halloween themed or game day, we've done everything you can imagine inside Salon Lace. We've had a lot of photo shoots and they've been so fun, but you have to plan them. Plan the dates now, plan the themes a little bit later as you get closer to the time. Don't worry about the themes right now. At least get the date on the calendar. Okay. In the show notes, I'm linking my Pinterest boards and some themes so you guys can see how we have planned these in the past. Cool. All right. Number 3, you need to plan out your assistant classes. These need to be monthly. Once a month, I want you planning and training your assistants outside of the salon. All right. So this is not when you're behind the chair. The rest of the training is when you are working with guests, you are training them. Once a month, you are coming in on outside hours, is what I say. I like inside Salon Lace, we always do the first Monday of the month, and it's anywhere from 1 to 3 hours. 1 hour if it's a business building class, 3 hours if it is an on-hand model type scenario where we're pulling out the mannequin and we're doing a color technique or something like that. Okay. This is also open to all team members. This is not just assistants. Open these assistant classes up to everyone inside your company, because even if an artist just graduated in their first 2, 3, 4 years behind the chair, they can benefit from these classes also. They are never too good to not come and attend a class inside of your company. Topics, I would plan these out quarterly. Okay. So don't plan the topics right now. If you plan it and say, okay, January, we're going to talk about this. February, we're going to talk about this. March, this, and so forth. September, October, November. I wouldn't do that, because come time, you're going to have different assistants September of next year. You should. And the topics are going to change. You can finalize closer to the date. I like at least having 2 to 3 classes planned out ahead of time. So like plan them out quarterly. Plan out Q1 classes, then plan out Q2, Q3. It's going to vary based on what your assistants and your team needs in the moment. If you plan too far out, they may not need that topic or that education the most. They need it, of course, but they might need other things at that moment. Okay. So let's say they're struggling with color formulation right now, but you're not going to talk about that till November. They need that right now. I would put that in Q1. Let's say they're struggling with photography and they're like, I'm just not getting good shots. I don't love my pictures. Okay. Can you bring in an outside educator? Can you teach a class on that? Is there someone in the salon that takes amazing photos that would come in and give their tips and tricks and teach an hour-long class? Bring in outside educators or other team members to teach. This is not just about you. You don't have to attend every one of these classes. You could attend every other one. Be smart, be strategic, delegate some of this. All right. Monthly assistant classes, get them on the calendar now. Number 4, team events. So there's a couple in here, but we're just talking about like team events in general. First one is a retreat. Some of you guys know we do big retreats inside Salon Lace, and I love to do them in January because we do vision questing, goal setting. We really set the standard on what to expect in the upcoming year. Some of you guys may say that's out of the question. We do a summer retreat. That's great too. All right. So it doesn't matter. My preference is in January to do our retreats. Get your retreat on the calendar. And if you're not doing a 2 or 3 or 4 day retreat, which is a lot, maybe it's one night or one day. You don't even have to spend the night. Maybe you go to a local hotel or stay at an Airbnb in a surrounding town and you just get together and you do some team bonding events. Okay. I'm actually going to link, if you want to know more about retreats and what we do and how we do it, I have a podcast for you guys and I'm going to link it inside the show notes. So go listen to our retreats podcast and you guys can get many, many more details on retreats. Okay. What about a summer get together? We always do a summer get together and we do like a pool day and we take someone's boat out. I don't have a boat, but we've had team members that have, or a pool party. I don't have a pool either, but we have team members that have pools, or a cookout, or just go to the lake or do something fun. Maybe you stay in and do a movie night. It really doesn't matter. It's just a summer get together where everyone brings like a dip, a food, we do burgers and just have a good time. Okay. We also do a pumpkin carving contest. Every single year inside of Salon Lace, we have done a contest. And my dad and I actually are the ones that clean out all the pumpkins. So we scrape all the insides out, get them really clean, all the things. And so they just get to pick their designs when they get here and carve their pumpkins. So it goes a little bit quicker. And then we take pictures, we post it on all of our social media sites, and we have our guest actually vote which pumpkin's their favorite. And then winner takes like $50 cash or a Starbucks gift card or an Amazon gift card. It's just something fun. Everyone brings Halloween themed food. You can get on Pinterest. There's a bunch of Halloween spooky food that you can bring. It's so much fun. It's one of my favorite events. Okay. And then last is a Christmas party is what we do. And this could be maybe you guys go out to dinner and you guys do a nice dinner. Maybe you guys do a party bus. Maybe you stay in and do a dinner. We've done Santa Claus before where everyone brings their babies and takes pictures with Santa. We've done awards. We've done catering. Like we have done a lot of different things inside. We've even stayed in and done jammies and like hot cocoa. You can do anything. Just get together. These are team bonding events. So yes, these are so much fun, but it's not just about fun. It's really not the purpose of this, even though it is. It's how you build connection and it's how you build and design your culture. So team bonding is everything to me. This is why we do what we do. It's work hard and play hard. And yes, we always provide everything. And if you're like, Lacey, we don't have the funds to do that, then have everyone split it up and everyone just bring a dish. Like it doesn't have to be expensive. You could stay in and come to your house or someone else's house. You could do it as big as you want or as small as you want. And the point is to get together. So get those dates on your calendar right now. Number 5, leadership and train the trainer events. So this one, if you do not have upcoming leaders, you're not quite ready yet, you're on your first, second, third assistant, you can skip this part. You're not going to have train the trainer events. But if you are wanting to start training other leaders inside of your space, leaders or educators that are going to take their own assistants, I would say, especially within like the next year or two, if they're not ready right this second, but you know they will be in the next 6 months to a year, I would start training them right now. If you know they're going to be upcoming in the next year working with an assistant, start developing them and pouring into them right now. So 2 to 4 times a year, I like to do these quarterly. If you can't do them quarterly, do them at least twice a year. So once again, I would do a winter and a summer or a spring and a fall and get it on the calendar at Train the Trainers events 2 to 4 times a year. We are also going to link in the show notes a whole podcast on this. All right. So we just recorded one, I want to say within the last year, and you can hear how we do these, what we do inside of them. It is a really, really good podcast episode that I go deeper into this event particularly. Okay. It's personal development, leadership growth, and mentorship training. Next is education days. You guys are going to have education days inside your salon. You've already had them in the past. This is product knowledge classes with your your line, whether you use Kerastase or Orbay or Redken or, oh my gosh, there's so many different lines. I cannot name them all. It doesn't matter. Whatever your retail line is, you might have some upcoming product knowledge classes or some new lines that they are coming out with. So I would absolutely recommend scheduling these. And if you can talk to your rep and get them on the agenda now, I would do that. Extension refreshers or continued ed. So if you are an extension based salon, I would be like, let's say all you do is extensions. I would be having monthly classes on extensions, whether that be stitching, beadwork, coloring wefts, placing wefts, consultations, pricing, like so many things. We have done this inside of Salon Lace, and it really, really levels up everyone's extension game when you guys are continuing that education every single month. If you do not do a lot of extensions, they're far and few between, don't schedule extension days, okay? This needs to be a main source of income, like 50% or more coming through with extensions. I would be doing this. If not, don't worry about it right now. Okay. I would be scheduling product knowledge classes quarterly with your reps because we know that motivation only lasts so long. And right after we have a product knowledge class, everyone's like amped, they're selling retail. The next week, like skyrockets in retail, and then it dies. Okay. Motivation, like I said, will only last so long, but systems last forever. And when you have a product knowledge class, it always remotivates and inspires our stylist. It's our job, the owner, your job to keep the momentum rolling. Retail is a struggle for every single salon. So let's do our part in scheduling education to come in because we need that motivation. It's got to be constant, guys, constant. Number 7, promos and contests. How many of you guys do promos inside your salon? And maybe you have like a table of savings, or you have minis on sale or liters on sale. We need to plan that out now. Plan every 8 weeks. Example, we always have a table of savings. For 2 months, we might do minis. Then we might switch to liters. Then we might do tools. Then we might do hairsprays. Mark the start and end dates now. Choose what you're going to do in the themes later. So you don't have to have everything planned out, but at least put promo 1 on your calendar for 8 weeks, promo 2 on your calendar, promo 3, because we're going to get to April and May and you're going to be like, shit, we're still doing the same promo from January. We need to be turning this over every 8 weeks. Okay. Number 8, recruitment events. I'm a big one on this, guys. Beauty schools. Get inside the beauty schools quarterly or twice a year. Once again, I would at least be in the schools twice a year. You're building that rapport with the instructors. You're building that rapport with the students. They're getting to know you. They're hearing the salon name. Just get inside the schools. I don't care what you teach. Get in the schools. Mark the months now. You can confirm the dates, or you choose a week and say, hey, we'd love to come the week of April 7th through the 14th. Do you have everything? Yes. Okay. Because you're going to have to talk to the schools. So this one, you might not be able to get the exact date on your calendar right now, but at least mark the time frame. Okay. Because we know if it's not on the calendar, it's not happening. This is one of the number one things I want you guys to get in, because I'm a big believer on training. Everything we do is with assistants, and you cannot have assistants and you cannot hire if you don't get in the schools. You can, but it's going to be hard. It's going to be much, much easier if you're inside those beauty schools. Okay. So put it down spring and fall, or winter and summer, or you can go quarterly. You can be extra. Okay. Number 9, Gratitude Fridays. Every Friday inside Salon Lace, we have gratitude. If you cannot meet in person, I love to meet in person, but if you can't, at least post it on your team communication platform. You can even schedule these out. All right. Same time weekly, 8 a.m. every Friday morning. Encourage your team to comment or reply with gratitude. We believe that when you focus on the good gets better. Would you not agree with me? And encourage your team and get them involved. And this is once a week. If you can meet in person, I would say if your workday starts at 9 a.m., everyone gets to the salon at 8:15 or 8:30, and you do 10 minutes of gratitude, and you go around and just say, what are you grateful for today, Katie? What are you grateful for today, Kaylee? What are you grateful for today, Brittany? And just go around and ask, and you'd be surprised what it does for your culture. And when you focus on the good does get better. All right, number 10, content days. This is optional, but if you can, I would do monthly content days, 1 to 2 hours. already when you're behind the chair. So let's say that you work Fridays, maybe one Friday a month, you have someone come in. If you want to do a professional photographer, you can, you don't have to. Or just have your assistant or someone else, because you really want your assistant to be in those photos too. I would have someone else snap a couple videos. Does not have to be anything crazy, but maybe you spruce up a little bit more that day. Like your hair and makeup is top notch. You're wearing a cute new outfit. Capture behind the scenes videos, working with your assistant or just behind the chair. Guest interactions. It's nice to have that extra content. Just use your phones. Okay. I said there's no need to hire a professional unless you want to for your content days. Some of you guys will say, yes, my videographer can come. And some of you guys will just say, let's just do our phones. And that's perfectly fine also. All right. So you can do, like I said, professional or not, but you might want to do some monthly content days. These are outside of your photo shoots. These are like behind the scenes, you and your assistant working. All right, number 11, vacations and time off. All right. This one is a biggie and probably one that most salon owners don't schedule ahead of time, but I want you to right now. If you are listening to this, you are scheduling your time off for the year, your own time off. Most salon owners forget about this. We put ourselves last. We're putting ourselves first right now. We are taking care of you. All right. So I want you to take at least 2 to 4 weeks off in 2026. You might take more off. You might take less, but 2 to 4 weeks is what I want you to at least get on the calendar right now. And if you don't end up going anywhere or doing anything and you have the week blocked off, take it as a staycation. Or you can schedule guests over it if you want, but I don't recommend doing that, but you can. So I set it 2 to 4 weeks off for 2026, and that could be a full week every quarter or a few longer stretches throughout the year. All right. If you have kids, grab their school calendars. Make sure you know when spring break is, fall break, Christmas break, Thanksgiving break, and block those dates off first. This time is precious. Protect it. Treat it like any other non-negotiable meeting in your business, because it is. It's non-negotiable that time with your kids. And it doesn't matter if it's a full vacation or a simple staycation, get it on your calendar right now. All right. Rested leaders make better decisions. And when you have that time off, all right, and you're able to get away and get out of your four walls that you're in, new ideas spark. You get remotivated, you get re-inspired. It is important to take time off. You can't pour from an empty cup. And your team deserves a version of you who isn't running on fumes and in, I'll say, reactive mode all the time. That's why we're being proactive right now. That's why I'm recording this podcast, is so you guys can plan every event for 2026 and every year hereafter that. You can come back and listen to this as many times as you want. The kids' school calendars is a big one. So I'm just going to reiterate that one more time. Take the time off, not the whole summer, but take a week off in the summer and spend that time with your kids, or take them to the beach or go somewhere. Take the Christmas break off. Take the spring break off. Take Thanksgiving break off. You never get that time back when your kids are little. So block it right now. Okay. All right. Last but not least, financial review and KPIs. All right. I say last but not least, but probably the most important. I'm going to take that back. This is the most important one, hands down. And a lot of you guys probably wouldn't even think of this until you're hearing it on the podcast. It is time blocking a time to review your P&L, financials, and KPIs every single month. You're going to put it on the calendar right now, because it's not on the calendar. It's not happening. I would be making time for this weekly and monthly as well. So we call ours Money Monday. Every single Monday, 10 a.m. is when I go through and pay credit cards, pay bills, pay invoices, check bank statements, check invoices from State Beauty Supply. What's our cash flow look like? Okay. Every month I review the P&L from the previous month. All right. This is so important. I want you to, at least by the 5th of every single month, time block 1 hour to review the previous month's P&L. If you don't have a P&L, you need to get a bookkeeper and you need to get a P&L every single month. It should be in your inbox, emailed as a PDF, or log into QuickBooks and download it by the 5th, no later than the 5th every single month. This is crucial to tracking your numbers and knowing where you are inside your business. You must make database decisions and stop going off of emotions from this day forward. This will help you make those decisions. Otherwise, you have no idea where you are at inside your business or where you're going. Weekly and monthly reviews. By the 5th of each month, we're going to make data-driven decisions, not emotional ones. You're going to look at it. You're not just going to be like, I'm going to buy new mirrors. We're going to buy new blow dryers. What's your P&L say? What's the data say? Do you have that extra money? Do you have it in an account to reinvest in equipment? Do you have that in profit? If not, I would not be making that decision right now. Okay? So we're going to put it on the calendar to analyze our numbers and look at what's going on and look at the health of our business. All right. Execution and mindset. Salon owners, this is your time to get organized. This is it right here. That's all the events. We're getting organized today. Get it on the calendar. If you're listening to this in the car while driving, don't do it while you're driving. That's dangerous. Or you're walking or running. I'm going to encourage you to sit down this week and re-listen and plan out every single event for 2026. Like I said, your future self will thank you, and so will your team. This is your time to lead proactively. Stop reacting to the calendar and start controlling it right now. Every single thing that we just talked about and that I walked you through, from the one-on-ones to Christmas parties, should live on your 2026 calendar before January 1st hits. You are the visionary. You're not just running the salon. You are designing your culture, and this is how you do it right here. Create a rhythm and a team that knows what's coming. Okay, so I want you to head to the show notes, grab our one-on-one framework. This is the exact system that we use inside Salon Lace of what we do to structure our coaching sessions, our coaching prep form, and our action plans. And I'll also link the episodes to our salon retreats and train the trainers so you can plan your entire 2026 with confidence. Okay, and I'll also link some inspo when planning upcoming photo shoots so you can make sure that you head over to the show notes to grab all of these free goodies, because I love you guys so much, okay? I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was a little longer episode, but I had a lot to cover. 2026 planning session, when we're done, we're going to say check. You're going to feel so freaking organized when you do this, okay? I love you guys. Now, go open up your calendar, pour yourself a coffee or a nice glass of wine if it's in the evening, and let's get to work. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'm all ears. You guys can shoot us an email at assistantcourse@lgeducation.online. Shoot me a message at Lacey_Jibo. We'll also put our text line in the show notes as well. Shoot me a text message, okay? Come straight to my phone. I love you guys. We'll see you on the next episode.